I hope you all are good. We are here for grade 2 math. You can find all the lessons on students.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 2 math, and then click on view all lessons. Here you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter place values. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter place values. The lessons we're going to cover today are convert from expanded form of 200s, convert from expanded form of 2000s, identify a digit of 200s place. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Then I'm on grade 2 math. The chapter we are working on is place values. Let's just start with the lesson that is convert from expanded form of 200s. Let's just start with the lesson. What is 600 plus 30 plus 5? So basically, 600 means 6 is at the hundreds place, 3 is at the tens place, and 5 is at the ones. So 600, 3 tens, 5 ones together they make 635. Let's just start with the test questions. What number has 4 hundreds, 3 tens, and 1 1? 400, 3 tens, and 1 1. So let's just make a place value chart. 1, 10, and 100. So 4 is at the hundreds place, 3 is 10, and 1 is 1. So the digit they make is 431. Option number 1 is the correct option. 431 it is. What number has four tens and two ones? Four tens and two ones makes 42. Option number two is the correct option. What is 70 plus 8? So, which is the correct option? It's 78. Option number one is the correct option. What number has 707 tens and one one? That is 707 tens and one makes 771. Option number one is the correct option. What is 600 plus 30 plus 5? Which is the correct option? That is 635. Option number one is the correct option. What is 80 plus 2? Which is the correct option? That is 82. Option number one is the correct option. What number has nine tens and one one? That is 91. Option number one is the correct option. What is 300 plus 20 plus 2? That is 322. Option number one is the correct option. What is 900 plus 70 plus 4? That is 974. Option number 3 is the correct option. What number has three ones and three tens and five ones? So which is the correct option? That is 35. Option number 3 is the correct option. What number has three hundreds, four tens, and four ones? That is 344. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 344. What is 70 plus 6? That is 76. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is 50 plus 6? That is 56. Option number 3 is the correct option. What number has 500, six tens, and two ones? That is 562. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is convert from expanded form up to thousands. What is 6,000 plus 900 plus 10 plus 5? So we have 6,000s, 900s, 110, and 5 ones. The digit together they make is 6,915. Let's just start with the test questions. What number has 506 tens and no ones? So 500s, 6 tens, and no ones means 0 it is. So the digit they make together is 560. So option number C3 is the correct option. That is 560. What is 5,000 plus 600 plus 50 plus 1? That is 1, tens, hundreds, and thousands. 5,600, 5 tens, and ones. That is 5,651. Option number 3 is the correct option. That is 5,651. What is 1,000 plus 200 plus 90 plus 6? That is 1,296. Option number 1 is the correct option. What number has 900s, 9 tens, and no ones? That is 990. Option number 3 is the correct option. What number has nine hundreds, no tens, and six ones? 900s, no tens means zero tens and six ones. So that is 906. Option number three is the correct option. That is 906. Option number three is the correct option. What number has six thousands, nine hundreds, five tens, and four ones? That is 6,954. Option number one it is because we have six thousands, nine hundreds, five tens, and four ones. So together they make 6,954. What is 100 plus 10 plus 9? That is 119. Option number two is the correct option. What number has four thousands, no hundreds, three tens, and five ones? 4,000s, no hundreds means the hundred digit is zero, then three tens and five ones, so they make 4,035. Option number three is the correct option. What is 2,000 plus 900 plus 70 plus 7, which is the correct option. 2000 plus 900 plus 70 plus 7. That is 2977. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is 600 plus 10 plus 6? What is 600 plus 10 plus 6? That is 616. Option number 2 is the correct option. What number has 5,000, 100, 2 tens, and 0 ones? So, which is the correct option? That is 5,120. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself little bit. Let's just move on to the next lesson. The next lesson is identify a digit up to 100 space. Let's just start with the lesson. Which digit is in the ones place? So, which is the correct option? You can use the place value chart if you still have any problem. So, the rightmost digit is the digit that is at the ones position. 3 is at the ones place. Let's just start with the test questions. Which digit is at in the ones place? Zero, it is the digit that is at the ones places. Zero. Option number one is the correct option. Which digit is in the tens place? The digit that is at the tens place is 6. Option number one is the correct option. One is at the sixth place. Which digit is in the tens place, which is the correct option? One eight is the digit that is at the tens place is one. Which digit is in the ones place, which is the correct option? Six is at the, sorry, nine is at the ones place. Option number two is the correct option. Which digit, which digit is in the ones place? Three is at the ones place. Option number two is the correct option. Which digit is in the tens place, which is the correct option? That is seven. Option number one is the correct option. Which digit is in the tens place, which is the correct option? That is five. Five is at the tens place. Option number one is the correct option. Which digit is in the ones place? Zero is at the ones place. The correct option is zero. Option two is the correct option. Which digit is in the tens place? The correct option is 1 is at the tens place. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which digit is in the tens place? 2 is at the tens place. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which digit is in the ones place? 0 is at the ones place. Option number 2 is the correct option. Which digit is in the ones place, which is the correct option? Is at the ones place. Option number 2 is the correct option. Which digit is in the tens place? It is at the tens place. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which digit is in the ones place? One is at the 8 is at the ones place. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself today. So we are working on grade 9, grade 2 math. The chapter we're working on is base values. The lessons we have covered today are convert from expanded form up to hundreds, convert from expanded form up to thousands, identify a digit up to hundreds place. So please make sure you have your notebook. Please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lesson we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you. Or either you can write down the questions in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So you can please ask questions if you have any. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next.